All right, let's get to it. Not from the producers of the Brady Six. It's time for the sequel, the Maurice Five.
I love it.
As we talk about Maurice's draft experience, let's harken back now to the 5 running backs who were selected unwisely, as it turns out, ahead of one Maurice Jones-Drew, borderline Hall of Famer, really. I know you don't like to talk about it, but one more year in the NFL and you probably get to a level statistically that it's hard to keep you out of the Hall of Fame. But of course, everybody remembers from that draft, the top 3 were Vince Young and Mario Williams and the Heisman Trophy winner out of USC, Reggie Bush. What are your recollections? What are your thoughts about Maurice versus Reggie Bush?
I thought college he dominated. I mean, there was no question to that. I'm a realist. I felt like, he had a great team around him, but he was the best player on the best team in the country. So you have to give him his props on that. I just felt like our games were different. I was more of a true pro-style downhill running back that was able to catch the ball out of the backfield and that was able to do other things, return kicks, where he was more of a spread offense type of catch the ball out of the backfield first, not really a running back first, more of a weapon than he was.
Did you get a chip on your shoulder being in Los Angeles, playing on the other side of town on a team that had a lower profile than this all-time dominant college team in USC?
You know what's funny?
And Reggie Bush and Landell White, both being stars on that team.
You know what? Not really, because those Reggie Bush is a good friend of mine. We've competed for a long time. So out of high school, I won running back of the year, and I was the state player of whatever of the year. And then in college, obviously, he did his thing and got the Heisman.
Did you hang out in college? Did you
a little
guys
bit,
run around
a
LA?
little bit. We did. Now, was I upset that he was getting a ton of attention? No question. I felt like we deserved the same attention that they got. We just didn't win as many games.
All right. So now let's get to it. We'll do it with each of the 5, starting off here. Maurice Jones-Drew versus Reggie Bush. Better NFL career.
Oh, I have to say myself. I take myself every day of the week.
How shall we gauge that? How should we, by 5 times better, 4 times better, 3 times better on down? How much better?
I mean, I don't know how many teams he played for.
A lot.
Exactly. I only played for 2.
All right. I don't know that that's the measure, but all right.
So, I mean, you stay with one team for 8 years. That's
Let's
a long
say
time.
you were your career 3 times better than Reggie Bush's. At number 2 in the Maurice 5 is, Lawrence Maroney of the U. The U of Minnesota.
Minnesota, exactly.
That's what they call it up there.
Do they call it the U?
Lawrence Maroney.
That's hilarious.
I'll say you, Maurice.
You know what? I actually got a chance to, towards the end of my career, work out with Lawrence and became really good friends. We knew of him as we played, but really didn't hang out as much. Lawrence, again, his college career was untouted. Like, it was crazy. These backs are coming out. Lawrence had, I want to say, thousands on thousands of yards. He was a backup to Marion Barber, and then still rushed for 1,000 yards. So in college, he had a great career. Funny thing is, the Patriots are picking, and they called me it's between you and Maroney. So in the draft, I'm like, oh, man.
What are you supposed to say to that?
You
should pick me then.
Yeah, I hope you pick me is what I'm trying to tell them. And they went with Maroney. They felt he was a better cold weather back. He was bigger.
Do you think they were wrong?
No question. No question.
Well, it didn't go all that well for Lawrence Maroney, did it?
No, he had a shorter career. And then it happens, We're going to see guys in this draft that, we're all saying they're going to be this or that. And they might not end up being that. But
biggest name running back who's not going to thrive in the NFL in 2016.
Ooh. I don't know. I don't want to say Derrick Henry, but I just feel like his surface area is so big that he's going to take so many hits early on, it's going to be tough. But I never want to wish bad on anyone.
No, you're not wishing bad. Next up, so Lawrence Maroney, Maurice's career, a full 5 times better. That's the highest number we can go
I like that.
On the Maurice 5. Next up, D'Angelo Williams out of Memphis.
This hurt me. This one hurt me.
You felt that there was no reason to take him over you.
No, yeah, I mean, he was small school guy coming out of Memphis. We went at the combine. I felt like all my numbers were better than his were. I felt like the tape showed different. Got a call from them, Shaq, and that was the kicker. They called, hey, Maurice, it's between you and D'Angelo Williams. I'm like, oh, yeah? They're like, yeah. I'm like, oh, well, I got to be going to Carolina in the first.
Do you say to Carolina, you're crazy if you take that guy over me?
No, because I don't speak negative about anyone. I just said, listen, hey, I know you're taking me. There's no way.
And are you now, let's look at it in 2016, better than D'Angelo Williams?
I feel like my career was better than his. He had a lot of injuries, missed a ton of games. He's kind of starting to get it back going, though, here with Pittsburgh. But his foot and ankle injuries kind of hurt him a ton.
Final verdict, Maurice's career 3 times better.
I like it.
than D'Angelo Williams. Next up, Joe Adai.
This one hurt. I'm going to tell you why this one hurt. Because at the Combine, I sat with Tony Dungy, not for one 15-minute session, not for 2, Shek, and not for 3. But for an hour and a half of 15-minute sections, me and Tony Dungy talked about life.
He betrayed you.
He told me, he said, Maurice, if you run a 4.3 tomorrow, you will go in the first round. I can guarantee it. I said, you know what?
Tony Dungy lied to you,
No.
Maurice.
And I'm going to tell you the story. So during the draft, again, the Colts are up. I get a call. It's
You
Tony
start
Dungy.
puffing your chest out. Get ready, everybody, because
Hey,
here it comes.
we got
Tony
the hats
Dungy's
ready.
an honorable man. He wouldn't lie to me.
Hey, we got the hats ready. He calls me. He goes, hey, listen, the room is torn. All the scouts want Joe Adai. All the coaches want you. And I'm like, well, Coach, you got to have all the power. I mean, you're the one that I got to play for you, right? And he was like,
Put me on speakerphone. I'll talk to those scouts.
He goes, I'm going to call you right back. Still waiting on that call.
Wow.
Yeah, they took Joe Adai.
Unbelievable. Wow, that's a dark story.
Yeah, it hurt.
All right, let's just move on. But before we do, Joe Adai, yeah, pretty much a big bust in the he got a Super Bowl ring.
He got a ring. He did well.
But Derrick Rhodes was really the star in that Super Bowl run, not Joe Adai.
No, Dominic,
All right, let's get to it now. But 5 times. You know what? 10 times. Maurice Jones, I'm going to break my own rules. 10 times better, Maurice Jones-Drew over Joe Adai. And then there is the aforementioned Lendale White.
This one here. This is when I told my agent when I saw this pick.
This is the one that made you cry?
This is the one that made me cry. I told my agent I don't want to play football anymore. I said I'd rather go to McDonald's and serve burgers. And he goes, why would you say
help
such
you out
a
with that now,
He goes, why would you say such a thing? Oh, well, yes, and I need to do that. He goes, why would you say such a thing? Lendale didn't run a 40. Lendale didn't work out. He didn't take the whole process serious. And, even though, after overtime, he'll rub you the wrong way, but over time we actually became pretty decent friends. It's just he didn't take the process of being a professional serious as a young kid. And that hurt me. Because to me, I took it like a job interview, like I had to be the best. And so when the Tennessee Titans took him, I knew they were going to take a running back. And they were a possibility. It was like a big possibility to go there. And so
it's amazing too that 3 of these names all land in the same division. So that must have really enhanced the size of the chip on your shoulder.
Oh, no question. So I got to play these teams.
Until Lendale White ate it. He really let himself go.
Yeah, hey,
in the middle of his career. You have to admire that. You're working out all the time. You're going to practice all the time, and yet you still can get fat. You got to try.
No, you definitely have to try. I think that one hurt more than anything. Well, it really hurt, but I kind of understand it because Norm Chow was there, so they had Norm.
Yeah, okay.
Jeff Fisher, they had the SC connection, and it was like, okay. And so, really, like after that one, that's when I looked at my agent, and that's when the eyes started turning red. I squinted once, and the first tear dropped, and he said, "No, you can't do that." And I said, "I have no choice." I said, "I'm leaving." And they locked me in the room. They latched the door, and he was like, we got to change it. We have bad energy right now. 3 teams have called and picked the other guy, okay? Not only 3 teams called, 1 team told me they're going to call me back, and I never got a call back, okay?
I don't like football anymore.
And then Lendale White gets drafted ahead of me.
Football's mean.
It was horrible.
All right, Lendale White, Maurice Jones-Drew, 100 times better career.
I appreciate that, Shek. You make me feel good.